Welcome to So Awkward. It's me, Don.
And I'm Jester.
I know it's been years, and I should have done it earlier. I just got done watching The Walking Dead, the AMC show about zombies, which you've watched already.
Yes.
And she's been telling me to watch it because I love zombies. I'm a zombie movie fanatic. But I just finished, like 2 days ago, the first 4 seasons, which is everything until season 5 premieres sometime?
October something.
October something.
What did you think?
I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
I watched the first 4 seasons probably in a week. I think I went through each season in like 2 days. Because
Sure.
The first 3 are on Netflix, streaming. The 4th season I had to buy on iTunes. I couldn't stop.
No.
I couldn't stop. So I'm just going to say, if you haven't seen it, go watch it. Because it's great. We can't really have a discussion about it without getting into spoilers. Because I want to spoil the shit out of it. Because we haven't really talked about it since I finished watching it. Although I kept texting her like anytime something happened, like, oh my god, this happened. Oh my god, Joe Blow died. Which was probably really annoying.
Not at all. I've been waiting to talk to somebody about this.
Well, we're going to get into it. And spoiler warning.
Yeah, right. Just stop watching if you haven't seen this.
Who's your favorite character?
That's what I was going to ask. I really...
Jane! No, who's your favorite character?
I really like Carol. But it took me a while to like her.
Right. Me too. I'm not even sure if I like her. But I liked her character. I like watching her. But I wouldn't say I liked her.
I like Carol.
She starts out boring and doing nothing. And then she gets really interesting. And then she stays interesting, but then she gets... I mean, her character just goes nuts. Like she starts out so timid and weak, and then she turns into like the uber crazy zombie killer, human killer.
Yeah.
Like when she killed those people who got that plague.
Right.
That plague that didn't kill any main character. Only the new characters from Woodbury that were introduced died. Right?
Right.
When season 4 first started, there's all these new characters that came from Woodbury. And I'm like, how are you going to... There's too many characters. And then they bring in this plague that kills them all. And we're back to this, like, the 7 or 8 main characters.
Right.
So they gave her that little moment where she killed some people who were dying of the plague so she could keep them from infecting the rest of the group. But the plague storyline was never strong enough. But then she did win me back with that whole... What's the name of that girl?
Lizzie?
The Lizzie the zombie lover.
Yeah.
That was really crazy.
That was probably my favorite episode. Possibly of the entire show so far.
Where they're all on that farm.
Right.
Where she comes back and Lizzie is playing with that zombie baby. That was creepy as shit.
I was scared. And I think the entire time, because I watched it when it was actually airing, like on AMC.
Sure.
I was on the edge of my seat the whole time, and I like just waiting for the commercials to end. Like they couldn't end soon enough.
I think they could have even extended it more. Like some of the subplots, it's like with Rick seeing his wife or the plague. It's like just end this subplot already. But like the Lizzie one, I think it could have gone on even further.
Yeah, I think that would have been interesting.
Because the Lizzie subplot where she was a zombie lover lasted for a long time, like half the season. But then she kills her sister. And I think in the same episode, Carol kills her.
Yep.
They could have at least extended that to 2 episodes, I think. What's the name of the actress?
I don't know.
Who was at Wizard World in Minneapolis, but we didn't talk to her.
No.
I didn't know who she was at the time. She did a really good job. She was a good little actress. Her sister, on the other hand, not a good actress.
No?
No.
Oh.
I mean, she was really cute and really likable. No. She must have been like the producer's daughter or something.
Oh, I didn't think she was...
I thought she was pretty bad.
I didn't think she was bad.
I thought she was bad, and I thought it was her dialogue was just so obvious. I don't know, like that scene where I don't need to kill anybody because I'm happy. That's like but it was then she died. My favorite character, I don't know. If you asked me at season 2, I would have said Shane. Just because I thought that John Bernthal's acting performance was like the best thing I've ever seen.
He's fantastic.
He was fantastic. He's in the top 10 best acting performances I've ever seen. Was his whole arc on the show. He was always interesting.
Yeah.
And he was scary, but he was charming. He was a master manipulator. He probably manipulated himself. He didn't even know. I mean, there was just layers upon layers, and he was just given so much to do. And the actor was so good. But, I mean, I like Daryl. He's really good.
I was really afraid that Daryl was going to die in season 4.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I don't know. I don't know how the show would come back from that.
He's a fan favorite character. Everybody loves him.
Which is why I'm afraid they're gonna kill him.
They will probably kill him. He'll make it. I think he'll make it to the last episode.
Okay.
He'll make it to either the last episode or the second to last episode.
Okay.
I like the governor a lot. I like the bad guys, like Shane, the governor. But I thought the governor was so weird.
Yeah.
Like I never understood his character.
No.
Like I never knew what he was thinking or what he was gonna do. But that's good. But he was also like Shane, just clearly demented and psychotic, but also just really charming. Easy to understand why people were following him.
Absolutely.
And then in season 4, they bring him back just for a few episodes. Like there's one episode that's just he's the only person in it. And that might be my favorite episode.
It was really good.
It was really good. He did all this awful stuff in season 3, and then they bring him back in season 4, and he's just like a ruined person. But then he meets that family, and he gets his redemption, but then he gets dragged into being evil again, and you almost feel sorry for him. Almost.
Almost.
Almost. Martinez or whatever, the Hispanic guy,
yep,
who's the leader of this group that the governor joins, and he asks him to, hey, maybe we can be co-leaders, and the governor doesn't want to be a leader because he knows when he's a leader he turns evil, he does horrible things, so he murders him. So he murders the guy to keep from turning evil into an evil murderer. Well, first he's got his zombie daughter, Penny.
Yeah. Penny.
Locked in a closet with a bag over her head. And then he's got another secret room where he's got all these heads, zombie heads, in tanks of water.
Yeah, like fish tanks?
Yeah. And they're all alive. And then in season 4, after he kills that one guy and he chains him to the bottom of the lake, so there's a zombie. He's a weird motherfucker.
Yeah. I should really get the governor and Penny
Definitely.
to add to this. which death has been the most upsetting to you? Not necessarily because it was sad, but just even that you'll miss the character.
Shane.
Okay.
Well, Shane was such an interesting character and had such a cool dynamic to the show that when he died, and then when he was starting season 3, it was kind of reluctantly because I was thinking, well, Shane's gone. Like, why would I continue watching? But it picked up. Like, it survived. It even got better. Although, as the show progressed, the next 2 seasons, I would think to myself, what would have happened if Shane had been around? Like when they fought the governor, like what would Shane have done?
Oh,
You know?
I didn't think that at all.
I always thought, like, how would Shane have handled that if he had been the leader? What would happen at Terminus in season 5 if Shane was there? I'm not saying Shane is a better leader than Rick, but for a long time I was Team Shane. Are you Team Shane or Team Rick?
I'm Team Rick.
I'm Team Shane.
Although I get mad at Rick a lot.
I get mad at Rick a lot. But he's an interesting character. He's a believable character. He's kind of self-righteous, but he's also, like, there's that whole subplot where he starts to go crazy and hallucinates, which dragged on, and it wasn't that interesting, but I mean, I appreciated what they were trying to do.
No, I found that to be really boring.
It was boring.
The scene Lori...
Where she's in, like, the white dress.
Yeah,
and she keeps looking at him, yeah.
I was happy when Lori died. I didn't like Lori.
I didn't like Lori. I'm not going to say I was happy when she died, because I thought that was a sad death. And Rick's, what's his name, the actor Andrew Lincoln, like when he found out that his wife Lori died, that was super sad. Like, his acting performance was really emotional. He did a good job. So that made it sad. Like, if she had just died, but the way her death affected Rick, who's a likable character, that made it sad, because he was sad. But I didn't miss Lori.
No.
At all. And then, of course, there's Michael Rooker as Merle Dixon,
Yep.
brother of Daryl, who, you know, I love Michael Rooker. Met Michael Rooker. I'll insert the picture here of me where I got him to sign my cliffhanger laser disc. At the time, a couple months ago when we went to Wizard World and I met Michael Rooker, I met him because I love his work and other stuff. I hadn't seen him in The Walking Dead. But I think everybody else in line had pictures and stuff from The Walking Dead. And I had my cliffhanger laser disc. But he's another fantastic actor.
Now, I know you're nervous, but we've done this 100 times, okay? Mm-hmm. Okay?
Who's your favorite walker? Doesn't have to be one of these 3.
You've been buying the pops for a long time because you have been watching the show for years. So, whenever the zombie would come on, like, and I'd recognize from your pops, I got really excited. Like, I remember, because this zombie came in to the RV to get Andrea, and she stabbed him in the eye, and I said, oh my god, it's the screwdriver's pop. But if I had to pick a favorite walker from the show, and I texted you about this when it came on, and you didn't know what I was talking about, but in season 4, I don't remember the episode, but it was when Glenn and that girl went through the tunnel. There was a bunch of zombies because there was a cave-in, and one of the zombies was made up to look like Bub the zombie from the George Romero film, Day of the Dead, which I think was just like a little Easter egg for fans of zombies. Like, they gave him, he was wearing the same outfit, like the denim jacket or whatever, and he had like chains. You gotta see Day of the Dead. Sure. he had a little cameo in an episode of The Walking Dead. Day of the Dead is my favorite zombie movie. It's the third George Romero zombie movie. And there's this character that they call Dr. Frankenstein, who's this scientist. And he believes that zombies have memories from their past life, sort of like Milton,
Yeah.
who was the scientist guy in Woodbury. And Frankenstein does experiments on this zombie that he names Bub the Zombie. Check it out. If you like The Walking Dead, watch the original George Romero zombie trilogy. Skip all the other ones. Who's your favorite Walker?
I really like...
Is it Jimmy Walker? Do you know who Jimmy Walker
No.
is?
I
Dynamite! Do you know what that is?
Sorry.
Who's your favorite Walker?
I really like, I think her pop is called Bicycle Walker
Oh, sure.
in the very first episode.
The very first episode. It's the one where it's like, she's just like a torso and she's
Yeah.
crawling. Yeah, that was cool. That was creepy as shit.
Yeah, it was really creepy. But I also really like the one in Bunny Slippers. She's a little girl when Rick is finally leaving the town and he's trying to get gas and she's like dragging the bunny with her.
I think is that the first scene of the series?
Possibly.
Yeah, I think that's the first scene. And he at first he thinks it's just a little girl, but then
Right.
it turns around. Yeah. I think that's the first Walker of the show.
Both of them are just really creepy to me.
Yeah. I mean, little kid zombies are always creepy.
Right. Exactly.
Human skulls apparently are made out of paper mache. Like, I don't know
Yeah,
if you can get a knife through a human skull. I know your mother, who's a nurse, said you can.
She said if you were strong enough and you had a good enough knife, you could. But like I don't think I could do it.
I wanted to buy coconuts and then see if we could stab a coconut, but Jester said no, that we would hurt ourselves.
I really think one of us would end up in the hospital. We don't make enough
Don't
money
do it
for
at
that.
home. We don't make any money.
Right.
So who's the best zombie killer on the show? Who's got the highest body count, you think? And who does it with the most style?
My favorite is Michonne.
Because she uses the samurai sword?
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
It's just so cool. But I think Daryl's probably killed more.
I don't know. I think Michonne may have killed more.
Okay.
Or Rick. If only because he's been killing since episode 1. He's in every episode.
I guess so.
Whereas Michonne came in season 3. But she does tend to kill multiples.
She does.
But Rick
But then-
doesn't kill them with style. He just shoots them.
Does she kill them? Because she's just cutting off their heads, which does not kill them.
But a lot of times she gets him in the skull. Yeah, I don't know. You're right. She does decapitate a lot of them. Yeah, Daryl, he's super good with the crossbow.
Right, then he just yanks
Yeah.
the arrow out and he like sticks it in his mouth.
He kills them with style. The governor kills a lot of zombies.
Yeah.
And he might be my favorite zombie killer. Well, because there's the one scene where he falls into that pit with that little girl and 4 zombies come and he kills them all with his bare hands.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Like one of them, he rips out the zombie's neck.
That was just intense.
That was intense. And then one, he like had like a branch and he just like ripped his head open. Or there was like another scene with the governor where he just had his gun and the zombie was just behind him and he just went like, like he didn't even care. He was just so cool. He didn't even have to look at zombies that he killed.
Michonne is still my favorite.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to beat a samurai. And Michonne is cool because she's the only person who beat the governor. Because the governor he killed every zombie. He beat Merle Dixon. Kicked the shit out of Merle Dixon and killed him. He beat the shit out of Rick.
Yeah.
And he would have killed him, except Michonne stabbed him through the heart or whatever. But even before that, like in the previous season, where the governor has, he stole Michonne's sword, and he locked her in that room, and he was trying to intimidate her, and then she just grabbed the sword from him and, like, almost killed him. So she could have killed the governor twice, whereas nobody else in the whole show could touch him.
Right.
Maybe Shane could have. What would Shane have done to the governor? I mean, I really like Rick. He's an interesting character. He's a well-written character. Andrew Lincoln is a phenomenal actor. But there was just something so satisfying when the governor was just pounding his face in. And I don't know why. Maybe that means I'm a shitty person. What did you think of the characters who were introduced in season 4? And I'm asking you this because I'm going to say that I fucking hated them all. Like that flat-top redheaded guy, like the soldier who was with that scientist who has the cure for zombieism, which I kept expecting somebody like, okay, what's the cure? Which they never talked about. Everyone's like, oh yeah, let's get him to Washington.
Right.
Let's get this guy with a mullet to Washington to cure the thing. And that's even in the promos for season 5. Like, we gotta get him to Washington. I got the cure. This scientist looks like he walked off an episode of Big Bang Theory. Like, this is not a legitimate scientist. And yet they all seem to think he's got the cure. Are they really setting up a cure, like, to end the show? Or is it a joke?
I have just assumed that he's gonna die. So then, even if he did really have a cure, he's dead.
I hope he... Well, the actor is fine. He's funny. Like, those 3 characters, like the soldier, the female soldier, who... does she talk ever? Like the hot Latin soldier.
Yeah, she maybe says one word.
And then this scientist guy. Their scenes are really funny. They're entertaining. But it's like a completely different show.
Do you remember any of their names?
Nope.
But I'm trying to think of the new characters.
Then there were those 2 sisters.
Right.
One of whom was the governor's girlfriend.
Yeah.
And the other of whom was a lesbian. That was her character.
Right. She pretended to be a police officer?
Yeah. She does nothing through the whole season.
She does nothing.
She doesn't do a single thing.
And just at the very end, she decides she's going to help Glenn.
Right. But you don't see the governor die. He gets stabbed through the back and it comes out. And then his girlfriend comes, but, you know, she aims at him, but she she shoots at the camera. Pretty sure they never show the governor's body.
So are you saying that he's not gone?
I hope he comes back. Like in season 7 or 8 or whenever the last season's gonna be, like that mullet scientist will have the cure. They'll all be in DC, and he'll like have the vial and be like, I just need to put these 2 chemicals together. And Rick's like, do it, because there's all these zombies that are coming. And then Rick gets shot in the head, and then you see the governor, and he's gonna have like, you know, a bandage. Like, you should have killed me when you had the chance. And then that's the end of the show.
That would be pretty epic.
And then Shane comes back.
I don't think Shane is gonna come back.
Or season 8, 9, whatever. All this thing, everybody dies, and then Rick wakes up, and he's back in the hospital, and Shane and everybody's around him like, hey, remember when you got shot 8 seasons ago? And he's like, you're not going to believe this crazy dream I had. How bad would that be?
That would be awful.
October something, season 5 premieres. Who's going to die in the first episode?
Oh, God.
That Latino girl. Either the lesbian or that Latino girl. That girl who never talks.
Yeah.
Who's in like the mini skirt and like a cutoff, and she's just there. And for some reason they talk about how she's in love with that flat top guy. Why would you be in love with that guy?
It has to be someone from that party, though, right?
Somebody.
I mean,
in that
like
train
somebody,
car?
yeah.
Yes. It's got to be.
And it has to be someone we don't really care about.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those too. Or there's also Bob.
Is that his name?
Yeah, who played D'Angelo on The Wire. A lot of people from The Wire on the show. There's two.
Or Tyrese's sister.
Or Tyrese's sister.
Sasha.
Who started out interesting in season 3, but then in season 4, nothing.
Yeah.
I thought season 4 was really good plot-wise, but character-wise, yeah. Except for Rick and Carl and Michonne, like their little subplot was kind of cool. Where they kind of grew. Like Rick was weak through season 4, which made it interesting. So at the end, when he kind of comes back and he has that line where they're going to feel pretty stupid when they find out. Find out what? What did he say? They're messing with the wrong group of people. And that's the end.
Yeah.
And I was like, yes! And then I couldn't watch them. That was the first time where I couldn't watch the next episode.
Welcome to my life.
I know, I gotta watch it like a sucker, like everybody else. I was living like a king. I was the Walking Dead king for a while. Now I gotta wait.
You gotta wait.
So I think he's gonna die. The D'Angelo, I'm just gonna call him D'Angelo, Bob. There was some subplot about him being an alcoholic, where he endangered the party because instead of looking for medicine, he went to get booze. But then in the next episode, he wasn't an alcoholic anymore. And he's in love with Tyrese's sister.
Yeah.
Who shows no interest in him at all.
Right.
Because he's an ugly little goblin man, right? Great actor. Something Gillard Jr. Watch The Wire. He's brilliant on The Wire. He doesn't do anything of much. The writers of The Walking Dead don't like women and they don't like black people.
Do you want to say anything about the comics?
Oh yeah, The Walking Dead is based on the Image comic book by Robert Kirkman and some artists. I think Tony Moore started it and then Charlie Adlard, or the other way around, I don't remember. I started reading the comic when it first came out because I like zombies. I was a big zombie movie fan. And I don't know, I read it for years. And I finally stopped reading it just because I found the characters all unlikable. And I found everything boring. Like there'd be every issue is like 20 pages where just nothing happens. And then the issue where I stopped reading was the one where after Michonne had been raped and tortured by the governor, she came back. And it was like almost, I think the entire issue was just her torturing the governor. Like chopping him up. Chopping up his genitals.
Yeah.
Cutting him open. And it was just... it was just pornographic. Not even just that issue, but just... It was just all... I didn't care about any of these characters. It was just all this gross violence, which served no purpose because I didn't like the stories either. So that's another reason why I put off watching the show, just because I thought the comic sucks.
I started reading the comic after I watched the show. And the reason I started was because in the show, they kill Andrea.
Right.
Who I really liked.
She made it a long time, though. She made it longer than I thought she would.
I know in the comic they don't kill her.
Okay.
At least not yet. So I thought I was going to read it, and I thought Andrea would be just like she is on the show. And I thought I would end up liking the comic more. But it's terrible.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the comic. I didn't like it. I'm going to go ahead and say that The Walking Dead show is the best comic book adaptation ever. Because even the ones I love, like Batman and the Superman movies and Hellboy, the comics are better. But this one, far and away, the show, just kicks the comic book's ass.
Yeah.
The acting is great. The writing is really good. The action's awesome. It's scary. The comic book wasn't scary.
Not at all.
It's really hard to have a scary comic book. I mean, this is like Tales from the Crypt. You ever read any of those? Those are scary. Here's the complaint about the show. It takes place somewhere in Atlanta.
Yeah.
At least it starts in Atlanta. I don't know where the next seasons take place. But no matter where they go, they run into somebody else from the show, right? If there's two groups, if somebody goes into the forest, they're going to run into the other group. Like Woodbury and then the prison, which are in like season 3 and 4 or something. What are they, like 5 minutes from each other?
Yeah.
Because there's that one episode where Andrea's like, I'm going to go back to the prison and talk to him. And the girl's like, oh, don't do that. And then she does it. And then she comes back and she's gone for a day. But then there's the other episode where I got to get out of Woodbury. I'm going to go back to the prison. And then it takes her like a week.
Yeah.
Right? But then the girl's like, I'm going to go find her. And then he finds her.
Yeah.
She's walks through the forest. She's going through fields.
But he finds her.
Yeah, and she loses him in that factory. And she gets to the prison. And then the governor grabs her.
Yeah, all of that is a little too perfect.
It's a little too perfect. And then they go to this Terminus place because they keep seeing signs. But all the signs are on train tracks.
Right.
But coincidentally, every character is on train tracks.
Yes.
And whose job is it at Terminus to go out and hang up signs?
Right.
Like they're having a garage sale. Right? So then, season 4, the big cliffhanger that we're at now, it ends with them reaching this place called Terminus, which the signs say is this safe haven.
Right.
But it's not what it seems to be. Probably cannibals.
That's the assumption I have made.
That's the assumption I have made. First of all, because they're cooking. They showed Denise Crosby, the actress, at a grill in 2 separate episodes. And they made a point to have Carl get a plate, but none of the characters ate anything. Because they can't have them be cannibals.
Right.
I mean, at least not at this point. That'd be a whole other issue if Carl's eating people. So is their whole plan going to be that they put up these signs to lure people in so they can eat them?
I guess so.
I mean, I guess that's how you need food. Food's going to run out. So eat people. But how does that work? Maybe we'll learn, or maybe they won't even address this. How do you eat people without... Aren't you eating a zombie?
Yeah.
Unless you eat somebody while they're alive. But let's say you're alive and I eat your arm. Does what I eat turn into zombie?
I don't know.
Or say I just cut off your arm. Does the arm turn into a zombie arm?
Does it matter if you cook it?
I don't know. Interesting. I wouldn't.
Aren't you also just becoming what you're fighting?
Oh, good one. Yeah, good one.
Because the zombies are eating people, and now Terminus is my assumption that they're eating people.
Mm-hmm. I imagine somebody's going to have some monologue about how, they're eating us, and now you're doing the same thing. That's my impression.
Yeah.
That's my impression of all of the British actors on the show who are doing American accents. And they do them very well. Like Andrew Lincoln.
Except Maggie. But that just
Lauren
might
Cohan?
be because she's a woman.
No, while Andrew Lincoln's accent is flawless, in my opinion. The governor actor, who's also British, he's a great actor. He does a good job. His accent, you can tell there's something. Maggie's accent, I did not know she was British.
Right.
I knew it was a hokey, fake Southern accent. I thought she was just an American doing a less than perfect Southern accent.
Yeah.
But the fact that she's British, she gets away with it. She gets a pass because it's pretty good.
I don't.
Like I watched some behind the scenes stuff, and it's like, holy shit, they've got accents. The Rick guy, Andrew Lincoln, I remember from the movie Love Actually. Did you ever see that movie? It's a British movie with all these British people.
I think I did. I don't remember him in it.
He was the guy, if I'm remembering correctly, who was in love with Keira Knightley. Remember Keira Knightley?
Yeah.
He was like she was getting married and he was the wedding photographer, and then Keira Knightley looked at the footage and it was all just pictures of Keira Knightley.
Okay.
And he was like, oh, oops. What a shitty wedding photographer. Who deserves to be famous less? Keira Knightley or Orlando Bloom?
Orlando Bloom.
Okay.
Ugh.
Imagine how awful the Pirates of the Caribbean movies would be without Johnny Depp. It was just Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley.
Oh, God. They wouldn't have made 10 of them then, right?
They made 4. I didn't see the 4th one.
Okay.
But that one doesn't have Orlando Bloom in it.
Oh.
It might not even have Keira Knightley in it. I didn't see it. I don't care.
Hasn't Keira Knightley retired? We're not even talking about The Walking Dead anymore.
Bye.
Bye.